Hello, welcome back to WAHS 89.5. We have our guest here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Alan. My name is Ian Hughes. I am the guitarist of a band called Exit Ticket from Mount Clemens. And that song you just heard was actually from our first EP, Closer to the Grave, and that song was called Sheila.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. I know last show we talked about having a guest. We were expecting a comedian, but we have a musician, and that's okay. We love to hear music. Michigan-based, right? You said Mount Clemens?
Yeah, that's right. Mount Clemens.
Wonderful. And then you're not from Mount Clemens, right? Or are you?
I am not, no. Well, I was born and raised in Waterford,
Okay.
but I've spent most of my life here in Rochester Hills, and that's where I currently reside.
And how do you make the connection with Mount Clemens?
Well, that's just our base of operations, because our drummer, Noel Warner, his home is there, and that's where we do all the practices, and also the bassist, Colvin Smith. He also lives up there as well. So more than half the band is from Mount Clemens, so we just say Mount Clemens.
Interesting.
Mount Clemens is a great town.
I've never been there, I think. Maybe.
It's what would you say? Kind of medium big?
Yeah, I'd say like a medium big kind of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to live out there before she moved out of Mount Clemens.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So
Wonderful. So yeah, Ian, do you want to walk us through your experience at Exit Ticket? How did it start?
Ooh, how did
Who
it
are
start?
you? For the people, for the audience that we have. I don't know if we have a specific demographic when it comes to music taste or, music scene. But for someone who might be new to town, how would you explain that?
I'd say we kind of drive away from genre, but most people say we're more in like the shoegaze realm of things. You can play with that however you want, but we're like, technically what we call ourselves is like neo-psych rock.
Ooh.
So, it's not like the 60s psych rock, but, more like a more polished version of it, I guess, more modern.
I love it. What are some inspirations for that, slow dive?
I can't really speak for everybody. Well, actually, I can. We've all really liked the Cranberries and the Cure, and also Fugazi as well, are some of our like top 3 bands that we can all agree on. But I think like what makes us a little bit stronger is that we all have like our individual tastes. Like I think by far, I have the most out there music taste compared to everybody else, and I get dogged for it all the time by everybody. But I'd say like what I kind of bring, I'm really into like early shoegaze stuff, and then I have like a lot of experimental rock taste as well.
Ooh, okay. Any recommendations, for someone who wants to be more niche?
If you want to be more niche, I'd listen to Keiji Haino, and also like Les Rallies Day to Day. Like that is it's more foreign. It's on the Japanese side, so there's no really English lyrics, except for Keiji Haino has some English lyrics. But that's all really like proto shoegaze, maybe like a decade or 2 before any of that was really happening.
Oh, wow.
And it's also on the more experimental side. So it might not be for everybody, but Les Rallies Day to Day in particular is one of my favorite bands.
Would you say that's your favorite?
Yes, absolutely.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I'd say that, and then also I have like a lot of jazz influences as well. When I first went to Oakland University, which is where I'm a student right now, I was actually gonna go major for guitar, but I ended up hating it after a while. So I went a different direction, but I had to do a lot of jazz classes at the start. So I really like Miles Davis, like the legendary Miles Davis run from like 1969 to like 1975. I love all those records, and then like Albert Ayler as well, and things of that nature, I guess.
Right.
Like kind of the slower tempt music.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
No?
No. It's a little faster.
A little faster?
Yeah, I like the fast jazz more.
Yeah.
Like Whiplash kind of jazz, or like the movie?
I've actually never seen Whiplash before.
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
sacrilegious. Jeez.
No, that's okay. Okay, so that's a bit of the inspiration behind your role in the band. But as far as your story goes, when do you come across music and you're like, oh, this is my thing?
When did you fall in love with it?
Yeah.
I fell in love with music when I first found the Beatles. This would have been in 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
My parents had a box of CDs in the basement that I had discovered just by chance. And it was, it had everything in there. I think like the first 2 records I remember having a big impact were Lateralis by Tool and the Beatles' Blue compilation, which is like some of the 60s and like 60s to 70s hits and stuff. And then I really just fell in love with the Beatles, and I actually met Noah Warner that way at school. We met each other.
That's
and
it.
kind of bonded over that, like through like 4th grade,
Really?
5th grade and onwards. And you know, it was like I think my graduating class from where I went to school was only about maybe 50 kids. So
wow.
like, you know, like every year or so we'd be in different classes. So we never really had like a strong friendship over it. But over like the Beatles and stuff, like it just stuck in my mind. So like in mid-high school, we got back together and started a new band in like 2021, just together.
Really?
Just first band I was ever in, called Lamont Blanche. And he was the drummer and I was the guitarist, and we just made sound. I wouldn't even call it music, really.
Really?
Yeah. And then that continued through high school and slightly into college. And then Noah was in a different band with Colvin Smith called Easy Enough. And they had been around for a little bit. I think they started in 2020 or so. And they had broken up in 2023 just because of some personal differences. And Colvin Smith and Noah were just like, oh, well, we want to still play music. So they started playing together. And then, you know, I think in July of 2023, they invited me to come play with them on guitar. And the first day that we practiced, the power went out.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, we wrote a song called Blackout, which I think we're going to have on tab here later.
We'll
but
definitely have it.
yeah, that was the start of the band that I'm currently in, called Exit Ticket.
Wonderful. That's pretty cool. Has anyone else been on a band here from our original lineup? I don't know if we have any other musicians.
I've always wanted to play the drums, but I
The drums.
never really.
Mm.
My parents always like play piano first, and then you can play any other instrument. But I had
Yeah.
no interest in piano, so I was like,
Mm.
I'll just not do that.
I tried to learn piano. Didn't work out too much, but I don't know. Would you say that's an easier instrument to learn?
Ooh, piano or guitar? I'd honestly say guitars. They each have their differences. I say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they're equal in difficulty. I do think piano's harder. But the main difference with guitar is just getting like the calluses on your fingers and stuff. And then with piano, the bigger challenge is having to use 2 hands at once and like a different way. Because with guitar, you do it, but the right hand is what creates the noise coming from whatever note you're playing with your left hand. Whereas, you know, with piano, you have 2 hands that are both making the music all at once. So you have to have like 2 minds at once in each hand, which is something I find very challenging. I'm not very great at piano.
So did you start out with the guitar?
Yeah. Yeah. I would also say like it wouldn't have been 4th grade. It would have been maybe a year or 2 after. I'd probably say 6th grade is when I picked up my father's like acoustic guitar out of the basement. And I just like started like turning the tuning pegs and
Yeah.
strumming. I thought that's how you would make the music. Of course, I was wrong, thankfully. And then they took me to School of Rock in Rochester, which is no longer there anymore.
No way. What?
Yeah, and I played there for a little while. I'd say maybe 3 or 4 months, and just learned tablature and how to actually play the guitar. And I was like, oh, that's everything I need to know.
Uh-huh.
And that was like mostly like where I started with guitar.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, I've loved it ever since. I've been playing almost 10 years now that I think about it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. No one else has played an instrument here. Ryan, maybe?
Yeah, I used to play piano.
Oh, really?
I was also a really big singer, lots of choirs, lots and lots of choirs.
Really?
I don't do that anymore.
Okay. I mean, the voice is also a great instrument.
Yeah, my voice changed very quickly,
Mhm.
and after that I just started doing like more independent things, but nothing crazy.
Right. And, away from music, right? Because you've talked about.
I mean, I did like vocal lessons and I was in like musicals and stuff like that, but
Oh.
other than that, not really.
Pretty cool. Nothing for you, Alan?
Yeah, the recorder. Yeah, that's the only thing. No, I always wanted to play like drums or play the guitar. I don't know when I should have just started doing it a while back. I should get an actual like hobby going. Never got around to doing it though. But I know friends and stuff that play guitar, play acoustic, and all that stuff. So, yeah, no, I don't personally, but I always kind of wanted to. So
Okay.
who knows? Maybe down the line I will,
Yeah.
teach myself one day.
Right.
I remember back in middle school, I was really good at the ukulele. I don't know why. 'Cause,
really?
Like, we had a month or maybe a week of an instrument, so she would pull out like the instruments from the closet, and it was ukulele, and I was kind of banging out to it.
Interesting.
It was fun.
I did learn how to play the flute. In Mexico, everyone has to learn how to play the flute.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's also commonality here, but
Everyone has to, like,
no,
is that
everyone.
like a regular thing?
It is.
I mean, we had like recorders
big
back
over
in
there.
like a private school that I went to. They like forced us all to play recorders, and then after that, they're like, okay, we have old rusty instruments. All of you guys are gonna play them.
Yeah.
Now you're forced to play it. I had to play it, and then once they like ran out, they're like, okay, the rest of you're gonna have to buy it. Okay, we're gonna pull
no.
together. And so I got like a small cornet thing, which is like a trumpet but weird.
Interesting. Niche instruments. I like it. But yeah, I tried to learn the flute. Nothing stuck to my mind, and then I tried the piano. Didn't stick either. So, do you have any recommendations for that? You know, breaking that barrier between attempting and then actually learning, and continuing to play an instrument.
Ooh. Give up video games, which is a very hard thing for people to do.
Well, that's never gonna happen for me.
if you have like a regular video game you go to, if you think about how many hours you put into it, if you changed all that time you put into it with something like an instrument, probably by the end of the year you'd be able to play at least a song.
Interesting.
You know? I hate to say that because I love playing video games too, but
What's your favorite video game?
right now I really like playing Counter-Strike 2, which is sacrilegious because
interesting.
CS:GO is far better, but
Yeah.
Are you a lot of money deep into that right now?
I don't think I want to say that on air. My parents are listening. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of streamers are money like gambling deep
Yeah.
into Counter-Strike
really?
too. Yeah, because of the skins and the knives, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that all got changed. Right? The market like crashed because of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there were quite a few people in like China and stuff that were like taking their own lives over it because
What?
they don't have like a lot of like real estate options there. Like real estate is the only thing you can go into. There's not a lot of investment opportunities, so people would like put all their money into like skins and stuff. And like to put it simply, like you used to be able to only roll knives from cases, like and that was it. But now you can like trade red skins, which are like one of the higher rarity skins. You can get like 5 of them and then trade up into a knife. So like all the knife skins went like way down in price, and all the red skins went up. So like a lot of people's like bank accounts have been completely messed up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
I don't know. Speculation and inflation does reach video games. I know Fortnite also has with the V-Bucks.
They just increased their prices.
Yeah.
at the beginning.
But they decreased the amount you get. So it's like the lowest one was like what used to be $5 for 1,000, right?
I haven't played
Something
Fortnite.
like that.
And then now it's like 800 for like $6.99 or something like
That's
that.
crazy.
So, but they're making the pass cheaper and everything. They're making it 800. That's all they're doing.
I'm sure. Well, interesting little side quest with video games. So, giving up video games, trying out the instrument. How many hours would you say you play the guitar? You know, right now with the band, with school, other duties.
Right now, I'd probably say probably like maybe 10 or 12 hours a week.
Oh wow.
And then on top of that, maybe another like 5 or 6 because we practice once a week as well. Like at random typically. Like
Okay.
we'll usually have like extended days across a few months that we'll have it. And then something will mess it up and we'll change things up.
Interesting.
Yeah. Back in like COVID though, I would probably play for like 18 hours a day because it's all I really had. I didn't have like social media or anything, so I just sit down and play
He
the
was
guitar
just
all
on
day.
Zoom on mute, just banging out.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so cool. And what was the first song that you were able to like completely play on the guitar? You know.
I think it was My Generation. Was the first song I ever learned how to play. It was really simple. It's just like the chords and stuff. And then the instructor I was with this would have been at the School of Rock, was like doing all the crazy lead things. I was like, yeah, I'm a real musician now.
Pretty cool. Well, if you want to, we can start talking about your latest EP,
Absolutely.
which
yeah.
is give me 1 second. Let me pull it up.
Closer to the grave, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closer to the Grave, and that came out November of last year.
November of last year. Yes, that's right.
Have you been playing that live at any venues lately?
Yeah. I'd say a few shows. We've done the entire EP within like just our own set because we have a stupid amount of songs. Like I'd say maybe 3 hours worth of songs on
Oh,
our
wow.
backline. But we'll always try and play, if not the whole EP, at least a sum from the EP that people seem to have liked, which I think has been like Wild Cherry and Sheila are some of people's favorites. And then also the Philosophy single version. I've had a few friends say it's their favorite as well.
Nice.
Yeah, but we're always trying to throw it in a rotation for live shows.
Can you talk to me about the cover? Because it's like a mix of yellow and like darkness.
I'd actually love to talk about this because this cover is...
Because I'm trying to figure out if it's a skull or what it is.
All right, so here's some band lore. So we used to have this plastic skeleton I bought, I think in 2024, like around Halloween. And we called it our 5th band member. His name was Earl Pop, like Iggy Pop.
Oh,
and he'd
interesting.
basically like sit in my car with like a Sonic Youth t-shirt, and we would go get pizza and we'd be like, oh, what's up, Earl? And you know, this kind of thing. But we were like, oh, we need like a striking cover. So we need to sacrifice our 5th band member to move forward. So for that actual cover, we went into an undisclosed location, and I bought like a nice like red and gold rug from like Home Depot or something,
Okay.
and like maybe 2 pounds of ground beef, and I put our dear friend Earl in this fire pit on this rug. And me and Noah did this together. We covered him in this ground beef, and then we lit him on fire with lighter fluid. And that is the photo you're looking at.
Oh,
No
wow.
way. That's
pretty
actually
cool.
sick.
Yeah. So that also is kind of why it's called Closer to the Grave. But that also ties into one of the songs, Wild Cherry, which
So
has
the
that
skull
lyric.
is just covered in ground beef.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh
so
my
we've
gosh.
padded it on there. And this would have been in the dead of winter as well.
Ooh.
Oh, must have been at like 1 or 2 in the morning we did this or something.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, and I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but I found when we were editing it up in Photoshop, because it's multiple photos layered on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it for long enough in like a dark light, like your eyes will kind of like lose where to go, and it'll like create pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I can even make out some leaves and stuff.
Mhm. Except there are no leaves. It's all just your mind.
No way. Crazy.
Yeah. So that is the cover, which cool story about that one.
I like it. I guess that makes it a perfect connection to one of my questions is, you know, you're playing music, you're in a band, but what's another aspect of the band that you also really enjoy and have fun with? I mean, is it the covers? Is it the mixing? You know?
Ooh,
The camaraderie, maybe.
Yeah.
What is mixing?
Yes, I did have that question. What is mixing?
Mixing is fun. I'd say with the EP especially, we learned a lot about mixing and what it means to make like a record and stuff. Because I'd say it's still very rough around the edges what we produced from everything. Because we didn't go into the studio at all, and we sent everything to a studio just to get mastered, which is a different subject entirely. But like mixing is it is like the mix like of ingredients almost,
Okay.
in like a recipe if you see it that way. Like if you add too much salt in a cake or something, it's going to taste terrible. So you have to get the right balance of all the right ingredients to make something that's actually worth eating, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So if you see your instruments as the ingredients, you know, and you see like I don't know, like different effects as like spices and stuff, like reverb, delay, etc.
Right.
If you know, you know. Then you can usually create a pretty amazing dish. And I like to think that's what mixing is all about, is creating a palatable dish, or in some ways a unique dish if you want to be more artsy with it,
Okay.
and break from conventions.
So does mixing go hand in hand with the recording of the instruments and the construction of the song, or does it come after you have like a song like established? I guess, I don't know.
If you follow like basic recording procedure, usually it's pretty straightforward with mixing, because then you have just like a very like blank canvas to work with. Because if you record like a guitar with like a Shure SM57, which is like an industry standard mic, you're almost always just going to get the same result if you just mic it up like an inch or so from like the center of the speaker. So if you like follow that with most of like those kinds of instruments, and you know, then you mic the drums as you're supposed to, then usually you have just like a very blank, dry canvas to work with. And then when you move forward to mixing, you can further paint that picture and stuff. And you can maybe change what might be a little bland at first into something really colorful.
Okay, interesting. So it comes after recordings and.
Yeah. I'd rarely say we did any kind of mixing work before anything was recording. Like there was no really preconceived notion in our minds of what we wanted the EP to sound like. It kind of just happened that way.
Okay.
I would chalk up like some of like the environment we were into to influencing how we mixed it and stuff. Like I was really infatuated with like the Twin Peaks series at the time, and also some of Swan's like 90s records and stuff. And that really spoke to me when I was like doing mixing, because Noah was the one. It was just basically me and Noah that did everything on like some just like standard version of Cubase that he got with like his digital audio workstation or direct box. And he would be the one that would like turn the knobs and the switches on his laptop and stuff. And I'd be the one standing over his shoulder, be like, yeah, turn this guitar up like 0.8 decibels.
Interesting.
And it drove him crazy. I will say that, but it turned out into something unique.
Okay, so mixing is one of the other fun aspects of the band.
I'd say so. It's definitely a bonding experience too, because you get to put everything together with 4 different brains to make one final product. So it leaves impact from all 4 people, you know?
Right. Wonderful. And then what's a stressful part of the band process or the band experience?
I'd say the business end of things. Like, you don't really think about this when you start a band at all, but like the reality is, like in today, it's not like a record label set deal unless you're really, really lucky. And you know, they would do everything. So everything you would expect a record label to do for you, you have to do yourself. So you've got to make your own logo or pay someone to do it. You've got to usually make your own posters for shows, you know, if it's like a smaller venue. And, you know, you got to license your own music, because if you don't, it can get stolen, which was a big thing for us, was figuring out the legal aspect of things so that, you know, we don't, well, A, lose money in the long run, and also B, protect ourselves from things like that.
Right.
So you really have to cover yourselves in a lot of ways, and learn this kind of business terminology that you otherwise wouldn't have thought of when first starting a band. So I think that's the most stressful thing, is staying on top of that, and also money as well. I wouldn't say we care a lot about money. We're more in it for just the creative freedom and just, you know, just to play for people. That's the biggest joy in the world, is just playing for people.
Do you guys have like an agent or a business advisor to help you guys out?
We have a manager, but only in name. He doesn't really do anything.
Interesting.
And he'll come to our shows and maybe drink a little too much and run our merch stand. But that's about it, I'd say, right now. Otherwise, we manage ourselves, and that's usually myself and Noah are the ones that are doing that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So very indie in that regard, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom and everything. I think if we ever get signed to a label, that's something we'll take for granted, is the freedom of everything. But yeah, with the stress does come the freedom, so that's very nice to have.
Very, very true. When it comes to performing, please paint a picture for me about the local scene. I don't know where you move in that scene, because I don't know, there's rap scene, I don't know, punk stuff, pop, you know, folk.
That's a good question.
Where are you in the map?
On the map, it's hard for us because we don't really have a scene to play into at all. We've been kind of bouncing around between all these different genres of music, and I don't think there's one place we can really call home just yet. But at least within the scene, it's really beautiful. There's a lot of great bands coming around. I like to shout out my boys in Wet Body, who also went to high school with us. Some of them did. Me and you, Adrian, we both went to Rochester High School, which is great.
Infamous Rochester High School,
yes.
I would say.
So they're from there. They're great, and we've played with them quite a few times.
Really?
And then,
wait, what are some names in that band? Maybe I remember them, or maybe I don't know them.
There is Leith Carney and Zachary Kremen, both went to Rochester.
Oh, yeah, Kremen.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so shout out Wet Body.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, so that's kind of like on our same plane and stuff. There's those guys, and there's also some bands like Simulation, Penarth rings a bell as well. I think they're from Commerce Township, and yeah, the Custodians as well. Although I'd say they're getting a little bit bigger now. They're a lot bigger than us in terms of their reach.
All right.
Yeah, but with the scene, it's like you know, you have your small bands. You have, I don't know, these bands that maybe have lasted 2 or 3 years, which is kind of where we are. Okay. And then you have like I'd say the bigger names that people are just starting to find out. Like I say some of the bigger names coming out of Detroit are like Zostava and Clinic Stars especially are like a really solid group.
Interesting.
And also 208 as well, who are phenomenal. I saw them open for Lightning Bolt in 2024, and they were killer.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So would you say the local scene is experiencing maybe a golden age, you know, a resurgence?
Is there a rivalry going on? Like,
I wouldn't say rivalry. I think we're all pretty on good terms with everybody. I don't know about the other bands, but we certainly don't have beef with anybody at all.
You gotta start something. You gotta get that publicity.
You know.
I mean, next album, you can just name it "Why I Hate So and So."
So-and-so.
Right, Moravian.
You know, put like a
Oh,
random name
Moravian,
there, have
yeah.
people assume who it is. But I am confused about your album's name.
Oh, which one? Oh, the Close to the Grave.
The newest one, yes.
Oh, well, the name of the album or the EP is taken from one of the songs, "Wild Cherry," which has the line in it about closer to the grave. Yeah, I think it's every second that I waste away is another closer to the grave.
Oh.
So that's where the name comes from.
Who's writing those lyrics? Is it your new vocalist Daniel Woolman, or?
Partially, a lot of things that were actually on record right now were all written by the three of us when we were still a three-piece.
Okay.
The only exception to that is "Down the Street," which is the second song on the EP, which Danielle wrote the lyrics to. Everything else, I want to say, I wrote the lyrics for Sheila, which is what we played at the start of the show here. And then Noah wrote the lyrics for Philosophy and the Philosophy single, because it's the same lyrics for both of them. And I think I helped slightly with it. I don't remember. And then Colvin wrote the lyrics for Wild Cherry. And then the composition mostly follows suit with that as well.
Okay.
Down the Street, I did a little more heavy lifting, I think, but that was about it. And then I listened at the end. Noah wrote the lyrics for, and also composed that song. So we all kind of share that responsibility equally. And at least with the newer things that we're writing that aren't out yet, Daniel takes a lot more of a center role in terms of writing and also composition as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's good. He plays guitar as well. So he's not just a vocalist. He has some musical knowledge which he's been applying to things.
A mentor,
which is nice. I'd say so. Yeah. So it's nice having well, not just two guitarists, because slowly he is starting to play guitar with us in some of our live shows, including these last two we've done at the Bilrus on the 20th in Mount Clemens. And then back on the 12th at Eastern Michigan University.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so both those shows he played guitar, and he's slowly coming to that role, which is adding a new dynamic to our live sound, which is very nice.
That's pretty cool. And how do you experience those live shows? Do you still get nervous? Do you know the crowd now? Do they recognize you? What's that experience like?
I'd say most of the regulars at our shows are mostly friends.
Okay.
So there's always like a familiar face in the crowd, at least that we've seen. Anyone that can make it does, and we're extremely grateful for that too, to have friends that are supporting us do this. But we have seen a lot of unfamiliar faces too at a lot of our shows. But I think most of the shows kind of like vary in terms of how long we play and stuff. The last two we did, I think the one at the Bilrus is about an hour and a half long, just where we tried out some new things, and then the one at Eastern Michigan was about 50 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
So like the actual set time varies, I'd say. But like the material we're delivering, it's all the same, So people could still like witness that sound, I guess. And
Do you have like a place, I don't want to say called home, like where you mostly play, or is it just kind of everywhere?
I'd say kind of everywhere. Well,
Kind of everywhere.
I'd say the Bilrus is a place that we can call home. We played there three or four times now. I think 4 times is right. And the owner there, he's been nothing but nice to us. And it's partially because Noah used to work there. It's mostly why we're able to get in there and stuff, and because it used to be a speakeasy, so it's got like a really old wood paneled back room and stuff full of like old memorabilia. But it also gets stupid hot in there too. So that's something that's unforgettable. But they've just always been nice to us, and we always walk away with a new experience. So I guess we could call it home.
Yeah.
It's a very small place though. And as much as we like it, we would like to grow out of it at some point.
Yeah. Is that your favorite to play at, or you got a
Favorite place to play at?
Yeah.
Easily the Sanctuary in Hamtramck.
Ooh,
We've played there twice now. They've done nothing but treat us well, and also just like sound system there is great, engineers are great, and I like the vibes, And I think, fun fact, I think they're actually moving locations to this church just maybe 2 or 3 blocks away in Hamtramck.
Really?
And they're turning to a nonprofit where they're going to have like practice rooms and stuff. So we're very excited if we ever get invited back to maybe play at their newer location they're working on right now, which I don't think is opened yet. But yeah, shout out Sanctuary.
Shout out to Sanctuary.
Supporting the local music scene.
I was gonna say, I feel like there is a lot of support for the arts locally. I don't know, maybe you might correct me, but anything from music to stand-up, even the community theater. I see them popping up in random places. So
I agree. Most of what you got to do is you got to get into the city, though. Like Detroit, you know, has like the surrounding cities like Ferndale and Hamtramck and stuff that have a really vibrant art scene, and there's a lot of support there for all of that. Like there's a lot of dive bars that host local music, and there's I think a few theaters in Ferndale that do it as well, like the Orchid Theater, and a few other places. And that kind of follows suit with like other cities like Ypsilanti. There's also another like artsy town that's got a few things, and then the college towns like Lansing and Ann Arbor. Naturally, you'll have things too, right? For that demand that college students have.
Have you played in Ann Arbor?
We have not yet. I'd really like to sometime soon. Yeah, we've only played Ypsilanti so far, and that was just the other day, and that was a very nice experience playing in Ypsi.
Interesting. Well, hopefully, yeah, you get a chance to play over there, because honestly, I don't know. I've only been to punk shows in. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Michigan State, was it? Or which one's the one that's on Lansing?
Michigan State's in Lansing.
Michigan State, yeah. But that would be pretty cool to see you farther out. I don't know, collaborate with other bands. I don't know if bands invite each other to play.
Yeah,
That's a commonality.
that's been happening a lot actually recently for us, which we're very grateful for. You know, I don't want to say that they've just been falling in our lap or anything, but a lot of local bands that we've played with in the past have been reaching out to us, inviting us to play with them, and we're very appreciative of that. And we also try to do the same as well. Whenever we have maybe a gig we can't make, we always try and spot some of our local friends or local talent to fill in. And, you know, just like be a supportive community, you know, especially in times where like maybe something shady's happening.
Yeah.
We also like to keep each other in on that. I won't say it's drama or anything, but like, I don't know. Sometimes there can be things like that just happen. It's just natural that, you know, there's like a good side and a bad things to thing, right?
Do you guys ever want to like collab and do an album together per se?
Well, with a different band.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd really like to do a split single with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something that we would all be interested in, would be doing a split single with another band.
Because I don't know if bands create like albums together. Like for example, like Post Malone and Drake. You know, like I don't know. Do you guys do that kind of thing?
With rock, I don't see it as much.
Yeah.
Like, I think usually with rock, what you do is you'll have like a joint show and stuff. It'll be more like a concert thing, like where you have like half the night is like this big band, the other half is this other big band, and that's more of their way of doing it. Or it's just like kind of like a feature style thing.
Yeah.
Like this is way old, but like Neil Young and Crazy Horse,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Oh, I think I've heard.
and you know they toured together and did like live Rust, which was amazing.
Yep.
So it's more like the big names and stuff, I'd say, in that respect. Whereas, you know, more like collaborative albums are more like a rap thing, I think, or like a hip hop thing, where you have like multiple rappers on one record,
Yeah.
and maybe like 2 or 3 producers, you know.
Yep.
Wonderful. Well, we're gonna go listen to the end. One of your most famous songs I see from
Not the end of the show
Spotify.
yet.
At the end of the show.
No, is that not the end of the show?
Oh yeah, not the end of the show.
No.
But listen to the end. Do you have any background on that? Any fun story? You know, lore.
Yeah. So, like I said before, Noah Warner kind of composed the song and wrote, I think, just about all the lyrics for it. So that's most of what that song is. But the actual recording of the song took place back in March of 2024, when we were still a 3-piece, and we got about 60% done, and then left it. And then I think I used it for a school project as well at Oakland University, which is nice. And then we returned to it when Daniel came on the scene with us, which would have been December or November of 2025, or 2024. I'm sorry.
Right after the Battle of the Bands, right?
Right before, yeah.
Right
So
before.
a month or 2 before that, he would have joined us. So his first task with us was to sing on this single, to see if it actually worked out, and thankfully it did. So Daniel's doing vocals here, and this is a song that was originally written in 2024 that Daniel sings on in 2025 sometime. So yeah, that's what this is, and this is our very first single, Listen to the End.
All right, we'll leave you with that. welcome back to Nostalgia Hour. Now on our second hour segment, we already had Ryan's recommendations. We already talked about sports, so I guess we'll just dive deeply into nostalgia. And just off the air, we were talking about Mr. Golan, one of the goats at Rochester High School, a English professor.
Yeah,
If I
English
remember
professor.
correctly. He also did theater, I believe, a couple of years.
He did. He ran the theater program for quite a while.
Right. I have to confess, I was not a theater kid, but I did try it out, and I liked it a lot. I did lights, so that was a lot of fun. And actually, I think that's where I met Kremen.
Okay.
Zach Kremen, one of the guys that we were talking about for, you said Wet Pants?
Wet Body.
Wet Body, my
Close.
What pants?
I was thinking of something else, my bad. Yeah, I met him there. I think he was also running on the crew, not the cast, but I might be wrong.
I think you're right about
Yeah,
that.
we shared a room because we went to Love Fest, which is one of those like high school level theater festivals, and it was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of experimental stuff. It was short theater plays, and one of the ones that I really liked, I think, what was it? I'll remember the name, but it was a play inspired, I believe, by the Yellow Wallpaper, which is a short story from the 1800s about this lady going insane because she's been reclusive her entire life because her husband is too jealous. So it was a trip about like voices and schizophrenia and unwrapping past trauma. I don't know. I mean, at 16, I was blown away with that.
Yeah,
so.
and you were doing the lights, so
Yeah,
what
I
were
was
you
doing
paying attention for?
So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. But going back to Mr. Golan,
Yeah.
what's the impact he had in your life?
Mr. Gon, well, I'd say Mr. Gon was just a great teacher.
Yeah,
You know?
great voice.
Yes, and a great voice, and also great taste in music because he had, I think, Pinball Wizard, like a Pinball Wizard poster on the wall for the longest time in his classroom. So I was like, oh, this guy knows heat. And I think, like, I don't remember which day of the week it was, but every time we'd start class or whatever in the morning, he'd like play a song before class started and be like, and then he'd do like a pun on it or something like that.
Really?
I don't know. I'm like vaguely remembering this, you know, because high school was a trip. What
Yeah.
can you do?
Bro,
Yeah.
like high school's been always a trip
Yeah.
for everybody.
My main thing of impact for him that I would like to talk about is that he's actually a fortune teller.
No way.
I'm just kidding. No, no, but he can see the future, and he did see the future because I wanted to play guitar in the talent show senior year of high school, which I did end up doing. But in the rehearsals for that, he was hosting that basically and was like, you know, just like checking people in and seeing what they would basically do for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I had wrapped up my thing or whatever because I played an instrumental song. And he was like, that's pretty good. And like as I was packing up, we just like started talking about like music. And I was like, oh, like I don't think anything really special is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me being the naive little kid I was. And he was like, I actually think differently. I think things are going to change because all these kids that have been like stuck inside because of COVID are going to go out and form bands just like in the 60s. And there's going to be a big boom that we're going to see in a few years. And by God, he was absolutely right.
Let's go, Mr. Golan.
Yeah, so Mr. Golan saw the future, and we are living that future right now.
Wonderful. Do you have any other music experience in high school with like the marching band or anything like that?
Not in high school, but when I was in grade school, I made the mistake of joining the school band in 7th grade after being at School of Rock and only knowing tablature.
Oh.
So I was thrust into the limelight and it was like, you need to learn how to read sheet music in like a month.
Eee.
So my teacher, who I will not name just because I don't think very fondly of this guy, put me with 2 other guitar students who were my classmates, and it was like, you need to teach him how to read sheet music in like a month.
Oh, wow.
And they really didn't do anything. So the only good thing that came out of that is that I learned how to kind of like, I don't want to say get perfect pitch, but like I like learned how to play music by ear and stuff very
okay.
slowly, and that's developed over time. Because I would have to play these like really basic songs, I don't know, like Flight of the Eagle or something like that on guitar, and I would have to do something. So I would just like stand like kind of almost like one of those like cello players and like hold the guitar upright, and I would listen to myself play it.
With the cool sunglasses.
with the cool sunglasses. So that's the only musical experience I have prior to high school, because I did go to school briefly for it in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, she mentioned guitar.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, I don't know if I have any more fun stories from Rochester. Honestly, I don't want to say I did not enjoy my time there. It was just, I don't know. I didn't find a community there. I mean, no.
Yeah, I feel you.
Maybe it's just me, but theater was fun. That was one of the extracurriculars I did. Beyond that, I feel like everyone talks about making a band in high school, but nothing really comes forth. Like I said, I started to play the piano, or learning how to play the piano, because I was talking with my friends and we're like, oh yeah, let's make a band. Wow. No, the only person that remained in the music like field was Gael. He's very close friends with Zach Tippin.
Yeah, and is he Brazilian? Is that
No,
right?
he's Mexican.
Mexican, I'm
And
sorry.
he's living in Italy right now. He's doing
Too jealous.
what's the big one? The
Bass?
Bass, yeah, but the big bass. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him because he
Cello?
played at prom.
Yeah, he
in like a
did.
trio.
Yeah, with Tippin and with the Brazilian girl, Capra. That was
Yeah,
her last name.
she played violin, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that was interesting to see. That was the only good part of prom for me. So I remember like being like, "Can I give you a tip?" And he's like, "No, man, you're good."
Interesting. Yeah, no, well, he's really cool. He's one of my close buddies. So I know Zach Tippin is also doing music, but is it in Massachusetts?
Yeah, he's in Boston because he's going
Boston.
to Berkeley, I think.
Damn.
And he's in his group that he's had forever called Wide Track with his father.
Oh,
and
yes.
They make like a progressive rock metal kind of thing.
Mhm.
And then also he's in a band called Exosphere as well, which I'm not sure of the genre. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but they're doing things up there in Boston, I believe. And I think they recently might have played at the Middle East Upstairs, which is a very nice venue over there.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. So we got a couple connections to the more eastern side of things, I think.
Yeah, Eastern United
Northeast.
States.
Northeast. Honestly, I don't know where Boston is. My bad. I should know.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, those are a bit of our high school experiences. Does anyone else have any fun, nostalgic high school experiences?
Well, I mean, kind of tying into that, I actually, I had a falling out with this guy, but like, he goes to Berkeley.
Oh.
And back in high school, he made a band. They were called Math Class. So it's kind of like interesting, to see. It's really weird because when I heard Exit Ticket, I'm like, man, that reminds me of that one dude I used to hang out with, and his, his band was Math Class. The question is, because I never got an actual answer to how they got their name. How did you guys come up with the name, like, Exit Ticket? I was kind of thinking about that, like.
I had the name I came up with the name, I should say, first and foremost. I came up with the name when I was in the old band called La Mont Blanche. It was like a burner name that I maybe used for like a week and was like, this doesn't fit what I'm trying to do right now. So I kept it in like a list somewhere. And it was vaguely inspired by a band I can't say on air, but the band members are Alan Vega and Martin Rev. You'll have to look that band up online. They're great. It was vaguely inspired by that group, who were an amazing no-wave group from New York City in the 70s and 80s and onwards.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's kind of where the name came from. And when I introduced it to Noah and Colvin, they both jumped on it and were like, yeah, that's better than what we had prior. Because I think for one show, which was our first show, at like this dive bar in Mount Clemens, we had to like come up with a name for the performance. And it was like, oh, let's make our name like After Hours because we're playing After Hours.
Oh, okay.
And then we looked it up on like Spotify the next day, and there's like 20 different bands called After
Yeesh.
Hours. I was like, I have something that can fix that. So we dwelled on it, and it's stuck.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, no, that's I really like that more than After Hours. I
Yeah.
feel like Exit Ticket a lot.
I feel like coming up with a name nowadays is kind of hard because everyone's thought of that before. If you're trying to be
glad
funny.
you didn't AI'd it. That's
Yeesh.
Oh yeah, AI, man, get out of here.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you use AI on your music?
I have. Well, no. I did try it once. I tried like Suno AI or whatever to like see if it could actually do anything with these old lyrics I had, and it produced like the most glam 80s pop thing, and I was just like, this is disgusting. And I think AI is pretty reprehensible when it comes to music, and I also just hate it in general because like as a journalism major in school, I've had a few times where people have been like, oh, like you used AI to write this paper, when I did not, and I worked on it for like 3 weeks.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, man, I really need to fight this out. Like, how do you even prove that?
Right.
So
sorry for being good at grammar.
yeah, what is it? You can't use like hyphens anymore. Or
Yeah,
anything, man.
bro.
Like I used to use the hyphen so heavy, and then they were like, yeah, man, like that's like one of the biggest flags is using a hyphen. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
It makes no sense
Really,
at all.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on production day on Mondays, how you cannot use hyphens anymore. To be fair, not a lot of people use hyphens verbally, but I think they just come naturally to some people. It's just,
As it's AI, like, dude.
I don't know.
The only time I'll use AI for the post is for like my stats.
Okay.
That's it. Because like I'm not switching tab to tab to tab for like all my stats when I have to write my stories.
Right. Oh, you need
I'll
like a
just-
summary.
Yeah, I'll just type it into ChatGPT. What
Mm.
were the stats from this game, and it'll drop it for me, and then I'll start writing my article.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only use it sometimes for grammar. No, punctuation, my bad.
Punctuation,
You know,
okay.
omit your Oxford commas and then the rest. But I don't know. Fun times with AI. Hopefully they don't take over music. I think that's one of the few things that AI won't take over. It's music. Maybe I'm wrong. I did see a couple things on YouTube about like, hey, this album is fully made by AI, but nothing that I would say, damn,
Yeah.
better than Sonic Youth.
There's
Yep.
actually an AI exit ticket clone that we have had the misfortune of having to
No
deal
way.
with. I know nothing about them. I don't know where they came from.
Okay.
I don't even know if they existed before us, which is a big thing because it's like, oh, like, yeah, some of our records are from 2020, but I don't know when they ever showed up. So, like, when we were licensing our stuff, like, some of our releases showed up under their profile on, like, streaming and stuff, which is really common, apparently. And it was, like, a whole ordeal, like, getting things separated again from them, being like, yeah, we're not this person because, well, A, we're not them, and B, their music is terrible.
Right.
Yeah, so I have very negative feelings towards AI because of that as well.
So it's not taking over music though.
No, not right now. The live aspect, I hardly have any notion that it'll take over the live aspect of things because you go out, you go to shows, that's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't, like, unless it's like what are those VTubers?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I get to see
Kinda
that
like,
that
Hatsune
maybe being a
Miku.
thing, but that's only for that kind of crowd, you know, where that would take over.
Yeah, Vocaloid. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, VTubers and vocaloids, very, very different.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
you know? I mean,
okay.
I've been in the VTubing industry. I've done it.
So a VTuber is just like a streamer with a avatar.
Bird
Yeah, it's
Peanut
an
is
avatar that like
amazing.
face tracks, you know.
Ah,
So
okay.
it's kind of like you get to be a little bit more anonymous, but you can also kind of play a character, I guess.
Okay.
As for the AI thing, I think there's been like one AI music creator who I've ever liked, and that is Glorb. He does things that have to do with like SpongeBob if it was gangster.
Oh wow.
But the thing is,
I've
he
seen
writes all his
that.
own stuff. He's very, very. He's just an incredible writer. He makes like triple entendres type things.
wow.
He does use like the AI voices, but supposedly he has like impressionists do the voice beforehand, and then he just puts the AI over it. He makes all his own songs. He does all that sort of stuff. So, you know, I can respect that. If he wants to make, you know, if he wants to put that into AI SpongeBob, then go for it, dude.
I mean, yeah. I think that's one of the lesser evils when it comes to AI, but
Yeah, definitely.
I might be wrong with all the water consumption, but we'll see. I'm trying to think of any other questions that I had about Exit Ticket as an experience in particular. How, maybe indiscreet question, but how long are you guys planning on continuing with the project with, you know, is this a long-term thing? Is this just like a vibe thing? You know,
going full time into this?
Yeah.
Well, I made a promise to Noah especially, just because, well, me and him have been playing longer than any four of us have together, just because, well, also we've been in school together since like K through 8 and stuff. Like, I'd stick it through to the end with him, regardless of what that means. So I'm in this for the long haul.
Nice.
Everybody else, I think, has similar sentiments, you know? I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
And we also have contingency as well. You know, if anything ever happens where one of us loses like a hand or something, or if one of us dies, which I will not reveal on air at all because that would, I don't want to say spoil the surprise. That sounds pretty
Interesting.
pretty vulgar, but yeah, we're all in it for the long haul.
Good.
however long that may be, I suppose.
Right. Except your fifth band member, right?
Oh yeah, except for Earl Pop, who is now,
Ground beef.
like a molten puddle of meat and stuff.
May I ask, and again, maybe weird question, what happened with the aftermath of that? Did you pick it up and then threw it on a trash can, or?
I don't think I'm at liberty to say
Did you
that.
make burgers?
Okay,
Like,
right. That was my first thought,
We brought trash bags that were empty, and they also came back empty.
Okay.
Because it turned into something that we could not deal with at that time.
Okay.
It was literally a pile of molten plastic that would have taken hours to cool down or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like, let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's forget this ever happened. And
I can see that. Interesting. So that's a lot of band lore.
Yeah.
Any other interesting piece of information when it comes to the lineup? I know, like you said, the vocalist was just introduced in 2024, right? December.
yes.
So
Yeah. At that time, I think we had put up flyers around Oakland University,
okay.
and I think a few other surrounding places, but most of them were there to look for people. Just because, if we wanted someone local to be like a vocalist, because I think after a while of playing together, and also this is a very big important point. Colvin Smith, I think in August or July of 2024, he told us he's going off to college basically.
Oh no.
For temporarily. So right now he's at Mid-Michigan,
Okay.
which is just around the Mount Pleasant area, and he's going for a business degree.
Oh wow.
Which we absolutely support him in, and is amazing, and he still comes down for shows and is very involved in what we do.
Nice.
Could be your manager.
Yeah, so we talked it out, and we were like, maybe we need to bring someone that's solely dedicated vocals, so we can all focus on what we need to do as musicians. Have guitar as the main focus of what I do, Noah as drums, and so on and so forth, right? So that was the main line of thinking. And I think the first few months after Colvin left, it was just me and Noah for maybe 2 or 3 months just doing our thing and trying to figure it out. And that's when we put out flyers for a vocalist.
Okay.
And Daniel, I actually think, was the first person to reach out to us. And immediately he was he reminded me a lot of myself in a way.
Okay.
Which seems weird to say. But I saw that he's kind of very malleable in the way that
Okay.
he sang and stuff, and kind of the influences in music he liked. And I was I think right now it's going to take some adjusting, but he's definitely going to work in, which thankfully has seemed to be very true.
Wonderful.
And Daniel, if you're listening, we're very, very proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him perform at the Battle of the Bands 2024, and his theater background really shows the way he works the crowd. At least at OU, I haven't seen him in other shows, but he's just very comfortable with it. He goes back and forth with it, and like you said, I can definitely see the malleability. He could be jack of all trades when it comes to performing. So
Yeah.
that's
So
really cool.
yeah, definitely Daniel's got a lot of character. I'll say that.
Yes.
It's a good character, but he's got a lot of character, and it shows every time we play.
Is he the most extroverted on the lineup, or?
Ooh, that's a question. I think it depends on the night,
Ooh, okay.
on who is more extroverted. Daniel definitely has to put himself out there the most because he's the one singing in front of people, and is if something happens on stage and we have equipment breakdown or something, which I think has only happened once or twice, he'll be the one that has to make up a story on the spot or something, or talk to the crowd. So I want to say maybe he is the most extroverted. There have been times where some of us have been a little more outgoing than we should have, though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun stories for live performances.
Yeah.
I did have a thought. Yes, crazy fans. Have you encountered? I mean, your fan base is growing, so I don't know if you have any particular follower, someone who's always showing up. Because to give you time to think about it, we have a crazy fan at the Oakland Post.
Do we know?
Yes, I forgot his name. I think is something like Yoff. Something like that. It's just crazy dude who leaves the most unhinged comments. We have to block him every
on the
week.
website.
Yeah.
Unhinged
Is he on-
comments.
yes, no, not on yours. He usually comments on Mallory's. He usually comments on our feature stories, kind of those little community-based stories.
Oh, he's
He's
stalker.
always he really is. He's always leaving mean comments on people. You won't find it on the
Oh, 'cause you
website.
deleted them?
Yes, I have to censor them.
Well, here's the thing, though. We just released new articles, so there's a chance.
Don't
he's
even
probably
tell
up
me
here.
about it. No, he's gone dormant for a couple months, thankfully, but that guy used to be something. So, and again, like you said, kind of like stalker, very like personal comments, very like I'm in your walls kind of thing. So,
Yo.
yeah.
I mean, the I'm in your walls thing, like, I get, like, the weirdest comments on, like, my YouTube videos. Like, I get some weird stuff, you know, every now and then. And there's this one person who she constantly comments, like, something really weird or asks me, like, a really random question. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to answer that question honestly. I've given up on
You
being
have
like,
to.
what?
Yeah, so I think the more local that you go, maybe the more obscene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if we have anybody crazy. There are definitely people that have stuck out, and also there's a lot of people that I think have come to several of our shows that, you know, are kind of infatuated by us.
Okay.
Shout out Henry Boyer, one of my good friends, has been, I think, to every show he's been since he's known us. So
Let's go.
shout out Henry. I can think of one person. I don't remember what their name was, but we played this really terrible festival in Ohio.
Ooh,
I'm sorry to say it was very bad.
Ohio is
but the
butthole
people
of
there,
America.
it's always Ohio.
Yeah, we hate
Yeah.
Ohio here.
I'll say it was an interesting crowd. It was like I think it was a fundraiser for like people with disabilities.
Okay.
And most of the people there did have disabilities. So the crowd was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were very friendly, you know, and they were also just like kind of right up next to us and stuff. And they're like, yeah, like, what's that song name, you know?
Oh,
and,
that's nice.
You know, stuff like that. There was one guy in particular there whose name I forget, and I'm very sorry, because everybody else knows this guy's name in the band except me. But he was around us asking us questions the whole day and was like, yeah, man, like, I'll drive all the way from Ohio to Michigan just to see you guys play. And yeah, he was just like, I don't want to say overly enthusiastic, but he was just really, really kind to the point where it made your teeth kind of hurt a little bit.
Right.
But I think we love him to death. So I think that's the craziest person we have, is
Okay.
someone that just cares so much about us.
That's pretty cool.
Even though they've only seen us for maybe 30 minutes. Yeah, but that would be the crazy people, I think. That's one I can think of as the kindest guy you'll ever meet.
Wonderful. So that's a good fan to have.
Yeah, definitely. I don't
So
think we have any bad fans.
You've traveled then, yeah?
Oh, we've traveled.
We've traveled.
Yeah.
Where's the farthest so far?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Where in Ohio?
It was in Napoleon, which is like this trucking town in the middle of
Oh,
nowhere.
wow.
So we got the French and Ohio people. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Alan, you're looking at me. Do you know where that is?
I'm trying to think.
His girlfriend's from Ohio. They're
Yeah.
similar.
It's about 4 hours away from where we are right now.
Okay. Oh, so it's not crazy.
Not
It's
Crazy
not
far,
crazy. It's still the farthest we've ever driven.
It's still a
Although,
hike, yeah.
yeah, we do plan to change it sometime in the future. I can't say anything about that right now, but
Chicago?
there's plans to expand our reach a little more at some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think the other furthest place that you're from is Saginaw, and that was also a really, really bad show.
Saginaw's just not a great city. It's
I've
really
never
worn
been
down.
there.
You know, we didn't know that at all going into it.
Yeah.
So when we show, I won't say the name of this place, you know. I won't also say if we've advertised it or not, because we may or may not have.
Okay.
Because I don't want to throw shade in the venue at all, because they were okay people, I'd guess. But we were supposedly going to get paid.
Ooh.
We did not get paid
Oh.
because nobody showed up except a homeless woman that walked into the back of this place asking if someone could give her a ride across town.
Oh.
Yeah. And also the actual entrance to the venue was like a truck loading dock.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, and we knew none of this prior to, and also like we had sound issues the whole night. It was like, ooh, like we drove this far. And I think Colvin Smith was like, oh, I really wanted to go to this awesome concert in Detroit that night, but I was like, I'm gonna support my buddies.
Ah.
And then he came there. He's like, I made the wrong choice.
Well, that's Saginaw.
Hey, but that's a real one though.
Yeah, so no shade on Saginaw, but man, like, I don't think we're gonna go back there for anything. Like even like old downtown, which is
Mhm.
like the nicer part. I don't know, man. I don't want to go shopping for antiques.
It's really trashy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I dated a girl from Saginaw, so like
You dated a girl from Saginaw.
Yeah, so like we would kind of walk downtown and like walk around Saginaw. It's just it's like
Pressing.
it's just bad. I mean, there's no way to put it.
I mean, I look at like Pontiac and stuff, which is really close to where I was raised, and I, spent quite a lot of time there as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like, oh, this is like was like Pontiac, but worse. Because Pontiac in
Yeah.
like 2008 in like early 2010s was like a pretty bad place.
Mm.
And there's a Little Caesars like in every corner.
I mean, to be fair,
That's true.
I feel
Yeah.
like downtown Pontiac, I don't see a lot of things going on other than there's like 2 music venues there. There's a theater. For Halloween they put on what's the haunted house? What's the Erebus.
yeah.
Erebus. But beyond that, they don't got much going on. I don't know. There's
I think they're just starting to work on Detroit right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Build that up and then start working their way around. That's my opinion, but
I will say Pontiac will have something going on amazing
Ooh,
on
okay.
April 3rd at the Crowfoot because we're playing there.
there you go.
April
which-
3rd.
Which is I believe our next show that we've actually scheduled and gotten down. So we're going to be playing at the Crowfoot. I don't know the evening yet because I haven't given like all the info yet from.
Well, this is a little sneak peek then.
This is a little sneak peek. Yeah,
There you go.
Everyone who's listening, yeah, this is the first anyone's ever hearing of this. So you're welcome, and we hope to see you there. But yeah, the Crowfoot on April 3rd, we're going to be playing there. I guess alongside Wet Body as well.
Oh no way.
Okay.
And this is for Oakland University's radio station, WXOU 88.3 FM. They're having their annual birthday bash there, and they've invited us to play for them.
Perfect.
So we'll be, among like a few other acts, we'll be playing, I think, a 45-minute set.
Oh, that's pretty
Um,
cool. Do you know if Nighthawk is gonna be there?
Ooh.
Didn't they? No.
Darkhawk?
Darkhawk. My bad. Yeah, Darkhawk.
Oh, I don't have any beef against Darkhawk, but I think Oakland University does for some reason.
Really?
And I don't really know the full story, so I won't really talk about it.
Okay.
But at least in my experience, Darkhawk has been pretty nice to us.
Okay.
Yeah, and good music too.
Yeah.
They got very interesting influences.
I liked it when I saw them at the Battle of the Bands, and then we also have another Battle of the Bands coming up, I believe.
We do.
At Oakland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the 26th is when it is, or the 26th or 27th at Oakland. We won't be playing that one just because of some time constraints, and also
What?
just because it's such short notice.
Mm.
And basically, Maya, the organizer, was like, "Yeah, if you guys play and win, we're just going to give you an extra $100." And honestly, like, I don't want to do that to all these other bands that are playing there,
Yeah.
and just be like, "Yeah." I don't know. Like, I want other people to have a shot to play with this, because I think whoever wins the Battle of the Bands deserves to be at the Crowfoot.
Oh,
I don't want to
agree.
be that guy that takes it and be like, "Oh, yeah, like we get another $100 and we get more time to play."
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
not fair.
selfish, man.
Hey, that's pretty cool. You're supporting the local scene, so
Yeah. So
I applaud
if
that.
you're playing the Battle of the Bands at Oakland, do your best, man. We'd love to play with you and talk with you. And also, you should thank us because we're not taking your time and money.
You should
Yeah.
give us $100.
Oh.
Do we have any new songs coming out for the next show? Anything leaking?
Well, if you mean like in terms of what we have out in like streaming and stuff,
Yeah.
then yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
But I won't
Okay.
say that they're new songs that we've made. They're songs that we've always been playing, but
Yep.
like they're not on streaming anywhere.
Okay.
I think maybe one or two though. We've only played maybe once or twice because we played a few songs before Daniel joined in the band.
Okay.
And slowly we've been reteaching these old songs and coming back to them and maybe improving them a little bit and putting them in these new shows. Just to keep everybody on the same page, if that makes any
Right.
sense. Because Copeland's away at school, so we can't really like learn as many covers as we used to at like such a fast pace.
Okay.
But I believe we will be doing a cover at the Crowfoot, and there'll be at least two of those newer, in parentheses, songs
Interesting.
we'll be playing as well.
There
That's
we go.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no new album anytime soon?
I mean, they just released one, bro. You gotta give them time to,
Well,
think about stuff. Go through a
that's true.
breakup.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say we are saving money right now to make a record. I'd say we have 15 songs or so
Oh,
set
cool.
aside that we want to
15.
put on a record, or at least take into the studio, and then whatever we choose to do with them, we'll do.
That's cool.
Yeah, so sometime probably between May and July, we're going to be taking all the money we've been making from shows and saving up on the side.
Long-term
and going to the
investment.
studio.
I like that. Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so,
I got a quick one for you. So, favorite song that you've made, least favorite song that you've made, anything crazy like that?
Ooh, okay. I'd say as a band, I'd say the least favorite song that I have would be the song called "Only Losers Die."
Okay.
Because it was a song that kind of like came from Noah and Colvin's old band Easy Enough that was adapted into this, and in my opinion, it's still a great song, but it's the one song that is closer to like a punk song than to what we do.
Okay.
And I've told him this before. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is my least favorite song. But we play it anyways because it will get people amped up. And it's really, really good for that purpose. So me personally, it's my least favorite song. I'm not saying it's not something that doesn't fit in the band at all. That's up to you guys' interpretation, you listeners out there. But that would be my least favorite. And then I think my most favorite, which is, let's see, I think one of the newer ones we actually brought back is called Remember That Night. Because it's got a really, really great guitar part that I have since updated when we originally wrote it. And it sounds really good. Yeah, so I think actually both those will be playing at the next show. So you can expect to see those soon if you're going to be there.
Yeah, I didn't want to like bring you down too much. But now I'm going to ask you, what's one artist that you just cannot listen to? It could be like a mainstream artist. It could be like something
Make it
more niche.
local.
No, definitely not. Let's not.
We don't
do
want to cause beef for him yet.
I'm open to everything. And I think any artist that I've kind of really hated in the past, after listening to them like a few times over, I've come to love them. Like Violent Femmes I used to hate, but now I like them a lot. And I don't know, things of that nature. But I'd say one artist I've never been able to wrap my head around, I don't think I even remember her name correctly, but she played with Lauren Mazzicaine Connors. Her name is Kath Bloom. She's like a folk singer, and for whatever reason, you know, it might just not be for me, but like her voice and like the way she does like vibrato on it and stuff just really rubs me the wrong way, and I can't listen to it for too long, or I'll just kind of get a little irked.
Really?
Yeah. Which is crazy, because if you've ever listened to Lauren Mazzicaine Connors, it's the most peaceful music known to mankind. Because it's just like solo guitar and like a big empty room.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's, I don't know, I find that duality very funny, but also it's something I can't stand listening to.
Okay. So you've talked to us about, you know, the origins of the band, kind of like the journey, some of the key highlight moments, integration of new members.
Yep.
You gave us a sneak peek into your
Next show.
show,
Yep.
and then some of the stuff that you were working on. Beyond all of that, where do you want to take the project? You know, like you personally. Of course, you're part of a team, but when you're alone in your room, what's some of the things that you think about?
I think about how far we've come. Matter of fact, just the other day, Noah brought up some old studio recordings we did back, like when he first got like this big thing he plugs into his laptop, which I don't know what it's called. And I was blown away by how different these old versions of songs had sounded. And I don't know, just like leading forward into like what we do as a group, and especially just the role I play and stuff. When we put new things out, I'd like to put out old live recordings as well. And for anything new we record, I feel like we need to appeal more to the raw power we have live, because I think at least on the EP, it's a great piece of work we put out, but because it's also one of the first things we ever made, I think we were kind of like we kind of struggled to translate ourselves accurately into whatever we produced. So like the versions of songs you hear on the EP are like exclusive to like a studio environment. Like if you come see us live, it's a different experience, which is great. But I feel like we need to kind of bring those two worlds closer together and then have like a happy medium, at least with the newer work we're making, so that it more accurately represents like what the sound of Exit Ticket is, because we might miss it a little bit, I think, in the EP.
Can you like play it in the car? Like, does it like impact it if you like play it in the car compared to like playing it with like headphones on, like too much?
Yeah, any music is impacted if you play in the car.
I mean, like too much. Does it like? Because you said it changes a lot when it's like in concert. Is it like the all-around feel, or is it more of the off-the-cuff vibe?
I'd say live, it's a lot more sheer volume. We're a lot louder live, which doesn't translate very well to the EP because it's softer. And I think we really skim out using like overdrive and distortion and stuff, which I use a lot heavier live than on the EP when we recorded it. But I will say, when you listen to it in the car, it's still really good to listen to. I enjoy listening to the EP. And I'm very proud of that work, because it was a very big learning experience for us. You know, not just in mixing, which we talked about earlier, but also in just like the work that you have to actually put in to create something. You know, like creating a record is not like a set in stone process. There are so many different turns you can take to create it the way you want to make it. And now that we found like a process we like, next time maybe we'll look at a different way of doing it. Right. Or we can reflect on this way that we've done it and take things away from it. which I think is invaluable. You know, that we can learn from our our own creations. Yeah, so looking forward, I would definitely like to, you know, take some old material we've recorded and give it a new life. Because I haven't mentioned this before. I've recorded everything we've ever done in some capacity or another because I have a little PCM recorder.
Okay.
Which is also recording this broadcast right now at home on my radio. Yeah. And I think I have maybe 3 or 4 terabytes worth of just recordings from the past 6 years. So even before the band, just things. And that's like once a week.
Wow.
For 6 hours. So
Wow.
we've got a lot of material to fall back on, and I think almost every single show we've played to has also been recorded in one format or another. So that's definitely on the table to bring that kind of stuff back, and I would definitely like to do it. You know, put out like a live record of maybe the 3-piece stuff we did before
Right.
Daniel joined, or some of the more recent shows we've been doing. I don't know. That's a conversation for later, I think. But
Definitely.
it's definitely something we like to do, and especially as we approach what might be studio time in like August and stuff, or not August, just the summer.
Oh, okay.
That will be something we think about consciously. That raw power.
Okay, I like it. Well, my last 2 questions for the night, and if anyone else wants to pitch in, definitely do. First one is, how can we support your band? And do you sell merch? Are you burning discs? What's the plan?
All right. So we are putting our stuff out in streaming. As you know, streaming doesn't really pay that much.
Not at all.
So as unfortunate that is, we do sell our music online through a service called Bandcamp. So the most direct way to support us online financially would be through Bandcamp, where we sell all of our music we put out on streaming.
I
and
think
you can
it's
download
$6.
it.
I think the EP, right?
Yep, the EP is $6 right now. And the single I think is out for $1.50.
Exactly. I mean, just skip your biggie bag for Friday night and buy the EP.
Exactly.
I mean, where can we find you? Where's like your main social?
Main social is Instagram. I believe we have a Facebook account set up as well through Noah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about it because Noah runs it.
Okay.
But we are on Facebook as well. But on Instagram, we are exitticket.band. So you can find us there, which is where we post about all of our upcoming shows. You know, just like little tidbits of info or otherwise will all be there. And that's where most of the action happens. And then also at shows we do sell merch as well. We have a limited pressing T-shirt we've been selling for a little while, in a variety of sizes from I think adult extra small up to 2XL.
Oh, okay.
And I think those are $20. And we do accept just like a Venmo, you know,
Right.
PayPal, Cash App, that kind of thing, like most bands do nowadays.
Yeah, you have to.
And just cash too. And then also we have a limited run cassette, which is
Ooh.
actually technically our very first release.
No way.
It was recorded on a dictaphone, which if you don't know what that is like a speech translator, or that people use for like speech therapy.
Okay.
So like back in the day, people would record on like cassette, and you could skim through it in like a fast or slow speed to like you know, help people with like speech impediments, like with stutters and stuff, learn how to talk.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I've got one of those, and those demos were recorded on that, and then also on PCM as well, 2-track. So those recorded back in March in 2024, and it's just one of our songs called $12, and then one of our songs in the EP called Sheila, a very, very early version of it, and it's with just the 3 of us on that. So that's also for sale. I think that's only $10 for those,
Okay.
since it's a double-sided single on cassette.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that's what we're selling right now, and maybe we'll sell things more in the future
Maybe.
if people really like them.
Wonderful. Very last question, and I think this is interesting because most of us have a journalism background here. You certainly have a journalism background, and I see this on in other scenes, you know, artistic stuff. But who's keeping track of the local, like Michigan or maybe like Metro Detroit music scene? You know, is there any local diehard journalists following you around or following some of the other bands stationed at the Crow Food? Is there anyone covering this?
I think I have an idea, but I want him to say it.
Okay.
I'd say anyone who's enthusiastic about finding new music now is a great journalist about it,
Okay.
because there's so many different things happening. And I'd also like to say, once again, dear friend Henry Boyer is very enthusiastic about not just the 90s scene that happened in Detroit, but also a lot of the things that are going on right now. So shout out Henry, because he's always talking about like local Detroit bands and stuff, and his absolute favorite band, Majesty Crush, who are an amazing group you should also check out. But yeah, you yourself, you listening, you are the journalist.
Yep.
We're
I was
in a
gonna say that
landscape
too.
where, you know, the truth might be very hard to discern, so you won't know until you go out into the scene yourself and look for things. So I encourage you, go to local shows, you know, support your local band members, and if you find good music, put people onto it.
Ooh, like Mr. Gatlin.
Like Mr. Gollum.
Let's go, Mr. Gatlin. Well, thank you so much, Ian. Thank you for coming out. This is WAHS 89.5. We're going to leave you with Blackout, the live recording.
Yep, and this was recorded on March 20th at a last show. So enjoy. This is the raw power I was talking about.
This is Gabriel, and you're listening to 89.5 WAHS Radio, coming live from Oakland County, Michigan.